Hey Instagram, I am so excited. I apologize for being 10 minutes late. I am excited to be live for our daily online mental health festival, Heal, Help, Elevate Awareness and Learning. And I'm so excited to be with you. I'm so grateful that you're here right now. I'm just trying to sort about these stray hairs. But I'm excited to have our guest tuning in very soon. Let's see where he is. Let me know when you're here. Wherever you're tuning in from the world, say hello. It's good to see you, Jay. Thanks for tuning in. Spicy Little Pepper, thanks for being here. Leonardo, great to see you here as well. Where are my viewers? Okay, awesome. It's good to have you guys here. And I'm waiting for our guest to tune in. He should be tuning in anytime now. Diana, awesome to see you as well. It's so great to have you here, everyone. Thank you for joining. We've been doing this. We had Miguel, who spoke incredibly about mental health. We had Laurie Gottlieb, who spoke about mental health in a phenomenal way. Today's guest, I'm so excited to invite on, just waiting for him to tune in. I need you to comment. Please, please, please comment when you are here, because right now it's not letting me invite you off the invite button. So please, please, please comment when you're here. Today's guest is none other than my good friend and incredible thinker, Deepak Chopra, who I've known now for about 4 years, but it's not letting me view the request. So Deepak, I need you to comment. Dar, good to see you, man. Dan, good to see you here. Kavit, awesome to have you here. Thank you so much for being here. So many change makers. I appreciate each and every one of you for what you're doing in the world. Deepak, drop a comment when you're live with me, because right now I can't view requests. It's being really strange, Instagram. It does this sometimes. Just drop me a comment when you're... We're still here. It's not letting me... Okay, this is interesting. Please be patient, everyone. Thank you for being patient. I appreciate you. This is a Instagram glitch as per usual. I'm so sure many of you have been experiencing this. But Deepak, I need you to comment when you are here. That'd be amazing. How's everyone Saturday morning going? Oh, here we go. Deepak is here. All right, Deepak, inviting you now. Go live in with...
Hi, Jay. Good to see you. How are you, Jay?
I'm so good. I'm so happy to be with you, Deepak. As always, everyone, here's a gentleman who needs no introduction for our online mental health festival, which I'm so excited to have here. Deepak's an incredible friend and mentor. I met him 4 years ago for the first time, but reading his books since I was a young kid, because my father would have his books all over the house. And so he's been a big inspiration in my life, and I'm grateful to call him a friend today. We did a week-long daily breath series. So if you've not listened to Deepak's incredible podcast and daily episodes, Daily Breath, please go take a listen. We just did a beautiful week of conversations. I highly, highly recommend it. And today we're going to talk to Deepak about mental health, something that he's been talking about for such a long time in such an incredible way. Deepak, I'm grateful to have you here. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you.
I want to start off, Deepak, by speaking to you about how you think mental health and the conversation around mental health has changed over the last few years. What have you noticed? What are the changes that you've experienced in people who don't experience of it? And what have you received and observed that you think is important for us to address?
Well, Jay, the conversation is changing, but it's not changing enough, because most of the people that I meet in the field, if you ask them what is the mind, they can't even tell you what the mind is. They can't even define the mind. And this is experts in the whole field. If you ask the same experts, biologists, what is the body, they can't define that either. So I think we need to clarify, first of all, that the deeper understanding today is that body mind are a single entity, and they're an activity. They're not a noun, they're an activity, a verb. So what we call the mind is an intermittent stream of thoughts and emotions and images, imagination and memories and desires. And what we call the body is a correlated activity, which is an intermittent stream of perceptions which the mind is interpreting. And this body-mind is a single entity, just like space-time is a single entity, mass energy is a single entity, wave particle is a single entity, body, mind, and the world are a single entity. The body, mind, and the universe are a unified activity of consciousness modifying itself as that experience. So once we understand that, then this is the source of all healing, not just mental healing, but physical healing, environmental healing. It's the solution. Ultimately, mental well-being is the solution to a more peaceful, just, sustainable, healthier, and joyful world. Now, how do we achieve that? It is through relationship. That's the only way you can achieve it. If you're connected with life and yourself, then you spontaneously experience love, compassion, joy, empathy, equanimity. You lose the fear of death. You go in the direction of truth, goodness, harmony, beauty, love. If you're not connected with the web of existence, the matrix of existence, life, then of course you experience anger, which is pain in the past, fear, which is anticipation of pain in the future, guilt, blaming yourself, humiliation, another consequence of that, and ultimately depression, which is the depletion of energy as a result of all of the above. Number one epidemic of modern civilization. And if we don't address it, it's not only that people are committing suicide, humanity is committing suicide, and we're on the road to extinction. So this is the number one urgent message of all time. We need to be mentally reflective, clear, rested. Only then can we have a joyful body, and only then can we heal the world. Otherwise, there's no hope.
That's such a fantastic. I've never heard it like that. I remember you talking about in your book. I think that was the first time that I was coming across those concepts in that way. Sorry, you were going to say something.
No.
Yeah, and so your book, You Are the Universe, really talks about that unified principle between all of these aspects you just shared here. And I saw Dr. Daniel Amen the other day, depression gone up from 8% in the United States to 27% after the pandemic. People are struggling to find that clarity that you're talking about. What are the things you need to do daily to get to that place? Because people today are having poor sleep patterns, they're having pressure and stress, they're running up, their children trying to deal with that. What are you thinking are the daily practices people need to commit to make that change?
I think on a as a daily practice, what I do is I do meditation. I practice mindful awareness. I do deep breathing. I do yoga, but of course I've been doing all this for many years. But right now, what I am suggesting to everyone is take every opportunity you have to move from the conditioned mind to the whole mind. And you do that, you can do that, by incidentally, since I'm here, this is the book that you were talking about, which has all these suggestions and ideas. But you can shift in any moment from your conditioned, fragmented, local ego identity to your spiritual identity by putting the pause button in your life on. Just pause right now. Notice what's happening around you. Observe what's happening inside you. Feel it. And then choose your response to whatever is happening. So, by and large, 99.99% of humanity comes from either the fight or flight response in a threatening situation, you run or fight, or what we call the manipulative ego response. You're stubborn and manipulative. You're nice and manipulative. You're the victim and you're manipulative, and on and on. You're angry and intimidating and intimidated. 99.9%. You can immediately shift to self by noticing, feeling what's ever happening here, and choosing your response. So beyond the fight, flight, and ego response is something called the restful awareness response, which we experience in meditation. But we can shift to that any moment by being aware of being aware. So in the middle of a situation, I can be aware of me. Right now, whoever is listening to us, they just turn their attention to who's listening right now, and they'll feel the stillness. That stillness is the presence of being, right this moment. Then you choose your response. If you do this, then you move from fight flight to restful awareness. And then if you ask a question in that stillness, that's intuition. Intuition is nothing but a mode of knowing that is holistic, doesn't have a win-lose orientation, is beyond cause-effect relationships, eavesdrops on context and meaning. And from intuition, you can actually have a vision, which is creativity. So you can go all the way. You know, Abraham Maslow spoke of 5 levels, but the 7 chakras are actually the 7 centers of awareness. The first is security, the second is sensation, the third is power, the fourth is love and belongingness, fifth is creative expression, sixth is insight, intuition, and creativity, seventh is transcendence. We have in every moment the choice to respond from any one of these levels.
Wow. I hope you can all hear me. Hear me, Deepak?
I can hear you. Some people say, but it may be a problem on their side.
Yeah, I hope you can all hear me. This is a brilliant description by about how there are ways to respond on a different level in vibration. And what is us to from a lower space? What's happened?
What happens is that, you know, we have 3 brains. We have a reptilian brain, which evolved 300 million years ago, and its only response to threat is fight flight. Okay? Then we have an emotional brain, which is present only in mammals. Mammals are so called because of the word mama. They don't lay eggs, they make babies. Mammals kiss, cuddle, hug, touch, intimate bonding, breastfeeding, etc. So we have a reptilian brain, we have an emotional brain, we have an intellectual brain. And these evolved over different periods of time. So the lower 3 chakras are present in every species, including reptiles. They are the instincts that save us from threat or danger and are basically survival instincts. So, you know, the first 3, sensation, security, and power in terms of, you know, the ability to handle a situation. But after that, from here onwards, love, and then going to creativity and context and meaning and insight and inspiration and transcendence, these are very human traits that are not present in other species. And so this is the privilege we have as a human species to become aware of the source of all our experience. We talk about experience. What is experience? If we summarize all experience, sensations, perceptions, images, feelings, thoughts. There's nothing more than that. The rest, body, mind, universe, is a story, a human story, which is the interpretation of perceptual and mental activity, period. So once you know this, then you can transcend to the level of awareness where, in fact, you become the witness of every experience that is possible to a human being. Now, in the great traditions of the Vedanta, Kashmir Shaivism, and Buddhism and Jainism, they also talk about siddhis or supernormal powers. But these supernormal powers are just what are called modalities of knowing that extend outside the leaky bubble of perceptual activity that we are engaging as human beings. So right now, for example, you and me and all your audience, in the millions, we are restricted to a narrow bandwidth of electromagnetic activity, which is less than 1% of the visual spectrum. So to our acoustic hearing is less than 1% of the auditory spectrum. Outside these leaky margins are the experiences that people call extrasensory perception or precognition or knowing the future or remembering another lifetime. All this is thought to be very esoteric. But once we understand that our perceptual modalities are recycled, conditioned responses. We can go beyond those leaky margins, and actually all of us have access to these dormant potentials, which we thought were the privilege of saints and sages and rishis and luminaries and prophets. We all have access to this domain of existence. So, you know, in all these traditions, they talk about lokas and bardos. These are locations not in space-time. These are states of consciousness. And every location in space-time is actually a frequency domain of consciousness, nothing more. And we are so used to our frequency domain that we think, oh, now 5G. Oh, that's the next iteration of experience. No, the next iteration of experience is inner consciousness.
That's amazing. Deepak, you're the best. Like, I love talking to you because when you speak, much becomes clear. So fantastic at explaining these very subtle concepts and these hidden in between the lines. And Esme says, I'm reading a comment. She says, I love these explanations from Deepak. So deep, yet he puts it in simple words. So Deepak's new book is out to Total Meditation. He's going to be coming on my podcast on purpose about this book. You go and pre-order the book called Total Meditation. And if you please go and pre-order it. It's coming up very soon. And Deepak will be on the podcast, discuss it in depth. Well, Deepak, I want to thank you. Give me just one last method of what someone can do today to improve their mental health. What should people do today?
Okay, so I talk about the 4 A's: attention, deep listening. If you listen, you are a healer. Number 1. Affection, let people know you care about them. Appreciation, notice their uniqueness. And acceptance, don't try to change others. It's hard enough to change yourself. So the 4 A's.
I love that. That's beautiful. Everyone go and follow Deepak. Like I said, if you don't already, you're going to find a breath quiz. Go and check out our daily breath together on his podcast. Beautiful 5-day online event. And of course, Deepak will be on the podcast soon to talk about his new book, Total, that you can pre-order. Deepak, thank you.
Thank you, Jay. Always fun to talk to you. Thank you. God bless. God bless. And congratulations on your book.
Thank
Fantastic.
you.
Think like a monk. Yes.
That was what you said. What you just said, that think like a monk was the same point that you just made, that we can all access these frequencies.
Yes.
We don't have to be monks or prophets or saints or sages to access them. Any of us can access them. So yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Deepak.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you.